Today we're diving into a topic that's often debated in the world of video production: outsourcing post-production versus in-house editing. Now, this can be a pretty polarizing subject because it's often seen as essentially pitting cost and artistry against one another. Now, even though we're a post house and obviously pro outsourcing, it's definitely not for everyone. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. What works for one project or organization might not work for another. I'll do my best in this video to share the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to either outsourcing or editing in-house. And by the end of this video, I want you to have a clear understanding of pros and cons to either approach and feel informed about making the best decisions for your specific needs. I'll lightly cover the different versions of outsourcing in the form of freelancers, specialized post houses, and other production companies, and compare those to keeping editing in-house. So with that, let's get started. Outsourcing post-production means sending all or a part of your editing tasks to an external person or company. Now, the people completing the work are not your employees. You're working with professionals outside of your core organization. And that's an important dynamic to consider, as it places you mainly in the position of a client rather than a supervisor or a manager. Now, the most common types of outsourcing include freelancers or independent professionals who provide specific post-production services, specialized post houses, which are companies focused exclusively on post-production with a range of services from editing to visual effects, or other production companies or agencies. Now, these might be full-service agencies that include post-production as a part of their offerings. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the benefits and the advantages of working with an outsourced post solution. Outsourcing often gives you access to highly skilled professionals with very niche expertise that might not be available for you in-house. So take, for instance, somebody who's really great at color correction or a specialized motion graphics artist. Working with an outside editing partner allows you to manage a larger volume of work or specific projects without long-term commitments. Having an external solution in place allows you to quickly ramp up or down in the amount of projects you need to complete, without being beholden to providing continued employment. Keep in mind that a post house or agency will likely have a higher bandwidth for multiple projects than a single freelancer would, but either can provide you a helping hand when you need it. Freelancers are usually the most budget-friendly option when it comes to outsourcing. Even though external agencies may be costly on a single project, even they'll save you money in the long run by avoiding additional overhead costs that are typically associated with full-time employees, like equipment or taxes and other benefits. But more on that later. While some time is needed up front to align with an outsourced team, once you're all off to the races, your internal team will be able to focus on core business activities. Now, this may also potentially lead to a quicker turnaround time on the project, as the external team prioritizes a project that your internal team may otherwise get continually pulled away from. Now, outsourcing isn't without its challenges. Here are some of the most common downsides or pain points when working with an external editing partner. Remote collaboration can introduce issues, especially if there are time zone differences or language barriers. You might also need to adapt to their project management systems or integrate them into yours, which could add costs if you pay per seat. Maintaining consistency and quality can be challenging, particularly if you're working with multiple freelancers. Post houses and agencies typically have systems in place to ensure quality, but you'll again likely have to adapt to their systems for record keeping and information sharing. The upfront logistics of sending media to an external team can introduce a delay out the gate. If you're not shipping a hard drive, sharing files electronically is affected by both your upload speed and the download speed on the editor's side. Crossing time zones or different cultural holidays can definitely add delays mid-project as well. Sharing sensitive data with external parties poses risks. You need to trust the external team with your proprietary information and ensure that you know where your media is being handled. All right, so let's move on to in-house editing. The term in-house means having a dedicated team within your organization that's responsible for all things post-production, although they may split their time between different duties other than video editing. Now, this team might be on-site or remote, but they typically will use equipment, software, subscriptions, and facilities provided by the company. Now, in comparison to outsourcing post, here are a few of the main advantages an in-house team of editors bring to their organization. Direct supervision allows for immediate feedback and the ability to dictate workflows and project priorities. You also have the flexibility of unlimited revision rounds, although additional revisions add costs and possibly delays to other projects. Maintaining a consistent style and quality is easier with an in-house team. You'll be able to monitor the documentation they're referencing and base performance analysis on their adherence to established brand standards. Direct communication between editors and other team members can facilitate smoother collaboration. In-house editors are often more likely to be involved from the start of a project and informed about a particular client's nuances. In-house team members can also experiment with new techniques or software or equipment, all while under your supervision. In-house editors allow for a greater control over sensitive content, with media often stored on-site, and with the ability for supervisors to restrict access if needed. Employees may also sign an NDA as a part of their standard company handbook, so you may be able to rest easier knowing that your proprietary information is being kept behind closed doors. All right, now maintaining a team of in-house editors isn't without its challenges. Here are some of the biggest ones. Employees represent higher fixed costs that include salaries, benefits, and equipment. In order to minimize downtime when editing needs are low, team members may need to be cross-trained in order to stay busy and effective. This inevitably leads to them wearing more hats that may end up staying in place even when editing ramps back up. An in-house team might struggle with handling multiple projects simultaneously or dealing with specialized needs. Constraints may come not only in the form of the number of team members, but also in terms of powerful enough computers or having enough of them, which can be a particular pain point if a project requires a long render time that puts that computer out of commission to doing any other tasks. Ongoing training may be necessary to keep up with new skills or software. If a team member is too specialized in a specific task, it may be challenging to keep them fully utilized. As team members become more proficient or broaden their skill sets, they may start seeking greener pastures. Becoming too reliant on a single or select number of internal team members may result in needing to make a quick hire or open the door to exploring outsourced options. All right, so how do you decide if outsourcing or in-house editing is right for you and your project? First, consider your role. Do you want to be more hands-on and involved in the editing process, or would you prefer to let the experts handle it while you take a role as the client? Consider how complex the project is and whether you need constant on-call communication or if you can handle all the details over email and scheduled meetings. More complex projects might benefit from an in-house team, or at least a specialized post house. Do you have ongoing needs for editing, or is it more of a one-off project? Outsourcing might be the most cost-effective for short-term needs. Assess whether your in-house team, especially if that's you, has the necessary skills to complete a project, or if specialized experts are needed. Alternatively, does the project rely too much on legacy knowledge that only you and your in-house team would have? Evaluate if your current team can meet project deadlines or if outsourcing is necessary to expedite the process. If a project has a high-stakes turnaround, the last thing you want are time zone differences or language barriers keeping you from delivering on time. In summary, both outsourcing and in-house editing offer unique advantages and challenges. Your decision on which is right for you will depend on your specific project's needs, budget, quality requirements, and your desired level of involvement. One thing to keep in mind is that you don't need to stick with only one option. Many companies leverage the advantages of an in-house team and then bring in an outsourced partner in times of high-volume work or if unforeseen instances come up with their employees. Knowing your options and building relationships outside of your team can bring a sense of comfort in times that would prove otherwise challenging. At Archaius, we focus on providing our clients the closest thing to a fractional in-house team. Now, if you're considering outsourcing, we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to us through the comments or in the contact form on our website. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights and tips. See you next time.